Oh, yes. My Husky experience. Holy cow. Filling out this application for Husky 100 has brought back so many great memories, and I'm so thankful to be a part of such a beautiful campus and having had the chance in my life to embark on such an amazing college experience. Wouldn't trade anything about it. Some highlights I'd like to share with everybody about my Husky experience. It all starts way back freshman fall quarter. Uh, Before school even started, I wasn't thinking about joining a fraternity whatsoever at all. Somehow got my way into rushing, and I ended up joining Delta Upsilon fraternity, and it's been an absolutely amazing experience. Learned so much from DU Delta Upsilon. Very grateful for that place. But so that happened freshman fall quarter. Another amazing thing that's really shaped my experience here at UW freshman fall quarter is Lavin Entrepreneurship Program. I applied to Lavin my freshman fall quarter, and thankfully I got in, and that's absolutely changed my whole life. And I'm excited to share, the story and the journey that I've taken with these two clubs and how they've helped shape me, as well as other things that shaped me at the UW during my journey here. So freshman fall quarter, got into Lavin, got into Delta Upsilon, was trying to find my major, trying to find myself. I was thinking environmental studies, acting, business. I was really all over the place. Had a great time freshman fall quarter, met a lot of friends, a lot of people, and then the quarter came to an end, went home for winter break, and my dad goes, "Hey, I'm going to Vietnam. You want to come?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I want to come." It's always been my dream to go to Vietnam. My parents split when I was just 2 years old, and I grew up living with my mom. I saw my dad every weekend, every other weekend sometimes, and my mom never wanted me to go to Vietnam. I was her baby, first oldest born child. She, had to protect me. I get it, that motherly instinct. And so when I was finally 18, back home from college, and my dad presented this beautiful opportunity with me to go travel, meet my culture, see the rest of my family that I never got to see, I hopped on that right away. So I took winter and spring quarter off school, and I went to Vietnam. My dad was only with me for 2 weeks, and I spent time with my relatives of all different socio-economic backgrounds during my time there, and it absolutely transformed who I am today. A beautiful experience. In Vietnam, I really learned just how privileged I was here in America. The average person over there makes $7 a day. Minimum wage is $15 an hour. It's absolutely crazy how little some people have over there, but how happy their lives are. And it really helped change my perspective on money and happiness. And money does not always equal happiness, and I'm so blessed to be able to learn that at a young age. But Vietnam was amazing because my family comes from a variety of different backgrounds. I spent times with aunts, uncles, cousins, and everyone lives a unique, different life. Some of them are rich, so I would be some nights spending the night on the top floor overlooking majority of the city, and other nights I'd be in the countryside sleeping on just this thin of a bamboo mat, with cockroaches crawling in your bed and whatnot. So it was an amazing experience where I got to learn more about myself, my culture, and kind of what I am here on this world to do. And I mean, that didn't come till just recently, but looking back now, it's all been this journey that's added up to that. So in Vietnam, towards the end of my experience there, when I was getting a little bit homesick, I did start volunteering at temples across the country. My aunt and her family, we took a bus and we went temple hopping. We brought supplies. We meditated with monks. We met foster children who are studying Buddhism. Absolutely life-changing experience. Really helped me center myself and find some inner zen within me. As well, when we got back to Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, I wanted to get involved with teaching English. I had the dream when I was over there that I wanted to teach English after college, and possibly own my own school. So I got involved, volunteering, teaching English, and that was an amazing experience. But ultimately, I got extremely homesick. I missed not only my college friends, seeing all the things they were doing online. I wanted to be a part of that experience again, as well as just overall missing my core family and my mom's side of the family, as well as missing my dad. And yeah, so I eventually bought a plane ticket after 6 months, came back home, spent some time at home for a little bit, and got back to college. When I was at college, very thankful for this, but right when I got back, I actually didn't enroll right away back into the university. Thankfully, Delta Upsilon let me live there for a quarter, and my game plan was I want to be an entrepreneur. I got into Lavin. I have these amazing networks, so I'm going to leverage them. I'm going to take time off school. I was very influenced by Steve Jobs, all the rest who dropped out of college, so I was like, I'm going to embark on that path. Took some time off school, would not recommend, pretty much went to YouTube for the whole quarter, was flirting with a bunch of ideas, but ultimately I didn't get anything done. So after doing that and realizing, all right, I'm not ready to be an entrepreneur, there's still so much I have to learn, I'm gonna go back to school. But that was also a great time where I got really centered on what I want to do at university, because previously, freshman fall quarter, I had no idea what my major was going to be. So by taking some time off and even being around a college campus helped me digest just exactly who I wanted and what I wanted to do with my time here at UW. So got back enrolled in school. That was good. Still trying to figure out my major, but had a better idea. Was more focused on business and engineering, as well as psychology. And over my time in Vietnam and just my experience, I was really curious about just how the brain worked, how my own brain worked. So those were some of the hot topics in my mind. But ultimately, to rewind a little bit, when I signed Delta Upsilon fraternity back when I was a fall quarter, the chapter had about 60 people living in. We were a 90-man chapter overall on campus. A lot of fun. When I came back from Vietnam, the chapter had dropped in membership completely. The culture had went a little bit south, and here we are, spring quarter, alumni are talking to us. We only had 18 people projected to return the next fall quarter. The alumni said, hey, look, it was me and a few other buddies. We were like, yeah, we want to be the rush chairs, the recruitment chairs. We want to help bring this place back to life, have the experience we had just last year during our freshman time. But alumni were there. They were supporting us, but they said, look, guys, if we do not pull off a miraculous summer, we're going to have to close the place down. So that hit really, really hard to my heart. DU had done some amazing things for me, not only provide me with a boatload of mentors, they also supported me during my entrepreneurial journey when I took some time off school to figure out just what I wanted to do. They even housed me for that. So eternally grateful for that, and I want to repay that favor. So me, a few other guys, we said, you know what? We're going to save this place. We're going to recruit some top talent, and we're going to make DU flourish again. So that summer, we grinded so hard, day in, day out, calling kids every day, hosting events all weekend. And ultimately, that was one of the best summers of my whole life. Completely different experience than Vietnam, but overall, my best summer I've ever had during my time in school. It was hard work, but also the events we put on and the joy that we could bring to the people who lived in the house was absolutely amazing. And I remember one of the upperclassmen came to me. He was a senior at the time, and he thanked me and the rest of the recruitment team, and he said, this is the best summer I ever had. And that really hit home for me. At that moment, I knew we had pulled off something special. And we did honestly sign enough people to pretty much ultimately save the house, and we went back into fall quarter with about 50 of us, so we were able to sign close to a little over 30 guys, and that was an amazing experience. So that was that first summer back, doing big things. During fall quarter, I decided to run for president. I was so inspired by everything that had went down over summer, but ultimately I did not win president, and that was such a big blow to my ego. After that, I kind of gave up. I gave up on DU for a few quarters, coasted, put my energy other places, and I actually got really involved with Lavin Entrepreneurship Program. I hustled my way onto the exec board, offered to help them do recruitment and get more applications up. try to get a bunch of people to sign and or not sign but apply to Lavin, so that way we can select out of the top talent that people who applied to bring the best people on campus into the program. So I ultimately took some time away from DU. I still lived in, but I didn't put as much effort in, mostly because it was a blow to my ego, and got involved helping out Lavin. And that was an amazing experience. As Lavin progressed, me and another member, we launched a winter workshop series. And winter workshop was for all the new freshmen who just got into the program, got accepted. We hosted, a once a week seminar for them, where we brought in professionals as well as Lavin alum to coach them and give lectures, as well as be mentors for their entrepreneurial endeavors. And we ended that with something called the Empowerment Project, where every freshman presented what they did, what actions they took that quarter to help pursue them on their entrepreneurial journey. And I was so blown away by what had happened there. It was absolutely amazing. People did things I couldn't even imagine, and I knew at that moment that I had a positive impact on these people's lives, and I was hooked to that experience. I love helping people transform and evolve on their own journey, and that was so magical for me to share in their growing experience. So after that, fast forward, that summer comes up again, and back to Delta Upsilon, the fraternity needed someone to do recruitment again, and no one wanted to do it. And I was pretty disappointed in that, but I ultimately stepped up to do it again one more time. So, rushed again. This was such a tough summer because we had the longest dry period where we didn't sign a kid for, it was almost 2 months. We were working hard. We were doing everything we had done the previous summer, calling kids, hosting events, having people out, but ultimately no one wanted to sign our house, and that was very heartbreaking. But what I learned there is resilience and fate. We just kept at it, and then next thing you know, that next month, it was like every single day someone was signing. And that was such a powerful experience because we go from this extremely long dry spell where we're not getting anything, no one, and then all of a sudden we just hit gold. And it's just like we kept grinding, and then we just hit that exponential curve, and it paid off so much, and that was so rewarding. So we were able to, really make the house come alive at that point. And then come fall quarter, though, a lot of people wanted me to run for president this year. And I was like, no, I can't. I don't want to do it. Other people need to step up and leverage DU as a great leadership opportunity. So took a step back, was doing my thing with Lavin. I actually met an amazing, beautiful girl and asked her to be my girlfriend. So I was doing something a little bit different. I was trying to apply for jobs, get an internship lined up for the following summer, stay focused in Lavin, and kind of put DU on the back burner. Well, fast forward to that spring quarter, the culture in the house got extremely negative. The leaders that did step up to fill the position, they were young, and they didn't quite know what to do. So during spring quarter, I met with the current president, and I was like, we got to do something to change this place. We got to, bring the life back here. We got to make people care and want to grow and want to succeed and want to do something special with their lives. And he definitely agreed, and he realized at that moment that, he wasn't the right person to lead this huge culture change that we had in mind. So ultimately, he ended up stepping down, and I stepped up as the Delta Upsilon president just last spring. So with that, literally 3 weeks before the quarter ended in spring, I became president, and we started making some powerful changes. We got really clear on what we wanted as a house, and going into summer, we moved forward with that. I had a recruitment team of 5 freshmen. We've never had a team that big, especially we've never had freshmen be recruitment chairs. So it was a lot of fun, and I had a part-time job as well. I worked at Playwell, an amazing company. They help teach kids K through 8th grade STEM concepts, so math, physics, coding, all those things through Legos. So it was an amazing experience. I worked with them from 8 a.m. till noon, and then I came home and I was coaching a recruitment team and helping them build their confidence, build their empathy so they could empathize with others. as well as helping them, manage a recruitment funnel and ultimately fill the house. And that was an amazing experience. And we were able to actually pull it off. We pulled off probably one of the most talented pledge classes that DU's ever seen, and it was an amazing experience. So I'm carrying that with me into fall quarter, and also during spring quarter of Lavin, I also got voted in as vice president. So now here I am, fall quarter of my senior year, as president of a fraternity, vice president of a very elite club on campus, and I'm trying to maximize my time here at UW. And with that, I'm continuing to do that. And my dreams and endeavors here on campus are not done yet. I want to, first I'm in creating a company class, so I'm getting back on that entrepreneurial grind. I'm not dropping out of school to do it this time. I'm doing it with other classmates, trying to make it happen through the Onch Minor. I'm also finishing out my sales certificate this year. Really excited about that. Amazing professors, amazing peers that I've met through that program. And to also maximize my time and what I've done here at UW, I'm in the process of founding a club called UW Psychedelics Club, where we're going to be teaching students about the therapeutic uses, the cutting edge research that's being done in this emerging field, as well as promoting law reform around these substances. So that's where I'm at. This journey's been amazing. I wouldn't be the person I am today without UW, and especially the friends and the communities I've formed, not only in and out of the classroom. It's been an amazing ride. I just want to highlight two huge classroom experiences that really defined my time here at UW. My junior year, during Christmas, my grandmother passed away. That was extremely heartbreaking for me. No, I mean, can you imagine on Christmas, like out of all days, that one cuts deep. So that happened, but thinking about it now, it's such a blessing how it unfolded, because that following winter quarter, literally a week after, I shifted my classes around the week before. I got into an amazing class taught by Peter Kahn, eco-psychology. And Peter Kahn, on the second day of class, says, I've decided for this time around teaching this class, I want to move the Buddhism and Zen material to the front of the class. And during that moment, I got chills down my spine, and I had a transcending experience, and I could visualize and feel and see my grandmother sitting there, floating on a cloud in the center of the room, holding her prayer beads in her hand, counting them, looking me deeply into my heart, smiling at me. This was her final gift to me. My grandma was a practicing Buddhist monk. She sang mantras, watched Zen philosophers all day. She was Vietnamese, so there was a language barrier, so we couldn't communicate, and she couldn't teach me these things. And this was her, divine way of showing me all the things that she couldn't teach me because of the language barrier and because the limited time she had here on earth. And I was so thankful for that class. And that class sent me down the rabbit hole of learning about the brain, understanding myself better, and also becoming a leader that's grounded in spirituality, that's grounded in universal laws, that's grounded in the belief that everything is possible for every human, grounding me in love. And it was such a magical experience that also helped me reconnect with nature. And now when I go outside and I see like a hummingbird or certain type of animals or insects like ladybugs, I immediately think of my grandma, and as well as my other grandma who passed away when I was in high school, who also deeply cared about animals. So it was this amazing experience where I got to reconnect with nature, but also reconnect on some other amazing level with my two grandmothers. And I understood at that moment that I am bigger than myself. I have my own unique personality, but I also carry with me my family. They're inside my heart right here. And I carry them everywhere I go, and I can call on them for help. And by having a class that kind of opened that door for me, that's priceless. You can't put a price tag on that. All the tuition in the world is worth an experience like that. And I'm so utterly thankful for that. And that was just last year as a junior, my winter spring, amazing time. And I also made a that class also helped me when I had that realization that I'm bigger than myself. I was able to perform what I believe my best work ever is, and the work's gonna get better from here on out. But I was able to step out of my comfort zone and write a spoken word poetry. Absolutely amazing. I'll also be sharing that in my application. Feel free to check it out. It's called Eco or We Go. Amazing time. But fast forward to the following quarter, my junior year spring quarter, I took STEM entrepreneurship with Alan, and this is a group project based class. I decided to do a solo project on what does the future of education look like. And that's been a reoccurring theme in my life. The reason why I took on leadership positions inside Delta Upsilon, inside Lavin, why I volunteered as an English teacher in Vietnam is because I deeply care about serving others and making humans better. Everyone in the investment world will tell you don't invest in education. And that is the biggest mystery to me because that's the only thing that really matters in life is increasing consciousness. And through my experiences, the mentors I met here at just the university in general at UW, I've come to understand that's my goal here. That's my goal is to increase consciousness. And you do that by being a teacher, by being a student, and sharing the love, the light inside of me, and pulling that outside of my peers and making them see the love, the light that resonates inside of them. So I did this education project, and Alan set me up with absolutely amazing people in the industry. Can't think of his name right now, but he did amazing work. He was actually a middle school principal, and he did this completely new project where every Friday it was elective day. So you got to pick 2 electives, and that's all you did. They had 36 electives, things from, mountain biking to, making fish tanks to, acting. You name it, they offered it. If you wanted it, they would build it for you. And they would pull in locals from the community to help out with this program. And it was a fun way for the kids to engage. And so say the firefighters were helping out in the mountain biking class, and kids were learning about velocity, and then when they go into the classroom, they were more engaged in their math class because velocity, I learned about this when I was mountain biking, and I like mountain biking, and I want to be able to connect my passions together. So there's this amazing, beautiful experience where kids are able to take their passions, what they enjoy most, and make them come to life, and also come to life in the classroom too. When you're actually sitting there in lecture learning about mathematics or physics, they're able to take these things to the next level because they're now engaged with it. And that's the biggest thing I feel like is missing from the education system. It's out of date and it's no longer engaging. So it was amazing to learn about how you did that program. Ultimately, it only lasted for a semester because funding was pretty expensive, and a lot of parents, they're like, oh, where's football? I played football in middle school. We want the football program. But here he is, affecting all students, abolishing cliques, you name it, building friendships within the school. And the program went away, so we ended up quitting as a principal and getting into educational consulting. So I thought that was amazing, and I'm excited to actually see that play out in the real world. And I'm trying to actively get involved in schools that are trying to pursue similar topics like that, because I see that as the future of education. Education should be fun. We need to follow our curiosity, follow our joy, and that is the true way to live, in my opinion. So I saw that actually play out last summer when I attended the Eclipse Music Festival. Well, it was just an actual overall festival, and they had everything there. They had a cooking tent where you can go there, and it was like Food Network. They teach you how to cook, free samples, you name it, and it's delicious, vegetables, everything magical. And they had artwork. You could learn how to paint. You could watch people paint. They had lectures from philosophers there that you can go sit in. You could go swimming. You could listen to music. You name it, they had it. You wanted to learn from elders, from indigenous people. You wanted to be a part of a sacred ceremony where they taught you the old ways. Everything that you could ever imagine was there. You want to learn about sacred geometry, math, coding, gardening. They had it all. And it was a come and go type thing. Yoga, nobody cared. You could go, listen for a few seconds, Listen for 20 minutes, listen for a half hour, listen for an hour until you got bored, and then you could go walk off and do whatever you want. And that's how it should be. Allowing people to have that free will, to chase their joy, to pursue things that matter. And that was an absolutely life transforming experience that took place during my college experience. And it all built on what I was learning in school to finally watch it manifest in this beautiful form of a fun-loving festival. And so that's kind of grounded me in why I believe I'm here to increase consciousness. Because that festival increased my consciousness. It was a community of loving individuals with amazing stories and amazing experiences, and I want to perpetuate that forward. And I'm so excited to do so, and UW has given me the resources, given me the confidence, given me the network to do so, and that's why I'm so eager to continue to give to this university after my time as an undergrad has expired. But that's my story. It's a little bit all over the place. This is one cut from the heart. I'm so blessed to be here, and I'm excited for what the future holds. My experience here has prepared me in so many different ways to get me really centered on what, money means, what community means, what leadership means, all to me, and all what do I want to do with these things, and how do I want to leverage these tools. So I'm eternally grateful for my time here at UW. I really truly believe that by me making the most of my experience, it's made this overall journey priceless. And I hope others who hear my story can learn to do the same thing, can learn to be bold, to be boundless, to fail forward, and do all those great things that we're all capable of doing, and to follow their joy, to find their joy, to find that love and light inside of them and spread that. But thank you again, Husky 100, to the rest of the people who win. Congratulations. I'm excited to hear your story. There's going to be a hell of a road ahead of us. We're really going to change the world, and I truly believe that. The best talent is coming out of this school, and it's going to continue to come out of this school as long as the university continues to push people to follow their dreams, follow their hearts, and follow that light that calls at the end of the tunnel. Thank you.